Live. Okay, I think that is all of our housekeeping. Just another quick reminder, we are recording this for use on social media. So if you don't want to be on camera or read, you can shut your video off and put up a profile photo or, you know, whatever you need to do, because we share these on Facebook after the fact and it's fun to watch. And I think, limit to 3 poems. And then if we have time, we will go into another round. 2, 3, whatever. And if you want to show your poet some love, you can snap your fingers in the video, or you can send them a little chat bubble in the chat. And yeah, virtual open mics, finding new ways to say, hey, good job. All right. So, and if you want to participate in the open mic, I almost forgot, that's like a big thing. If you want to participate in the open mic, please put that in the chat and I will get to you as soon as I can. And all right, let's see. I think we have, all right, breaking the ice tonight. I'm gonna go with Harley. Harley, I'm asking to, or I am unmuted.
Hello.
Now.
All right, can everybody hear me okay? Cool. I'm gonna read two older ones, which you guys may have heard at one point in the AHA nights when I started heading down to New Bedford. And then one that I wrote and posted on Instagram, and then of course sort of pulled it apart and revised it, so you know it's got a little bit of new life. I don't know if I've read it or not, but we'll start with the old ones. This one is just titled Roman numeral 1. Against the face of the night, breath to cheek upon the avenue, where the forlorn aggregate into an ebb of ebb and flow of human excess and corporate misery, scratching my throat, the clinginess of tar. We slow dance, clutching one another like superficial high school lovers, too scared to let go. Unpack yourself, threadbare and thick, O false moon caressed in neon glow. You are all idols of Merestoika, nestled within one another, an orgy spent upon the sidewalk. I loved you once. Let me go. Release me, you heathen city. You impress so much and yet give so little. And this one is called The Scribe. Metallic lines of greasy graphite crisscross pieces of parchment like ant trails through the leaf litter. They carry on little work arrays of pencil scraps, corroding with each pass into meandering mineral deposits, bringing life to thought and imagination, feeding the beast that wrestles within. And oh, there may never be an end. As axons and dendrites clash in waves, I sleep and dream sporadic impulses of hot electric static. And the number 2 keeps on scribing its way across miles of minuscule paper pattern, conveying my mental load to the queen. And then this one is a newer one, which has been rebuilt a little bit. It's titled How Innocent the Flowers. Slow and sinking this end. Our day is over. The halos of receding sunshine are gone. My love breaks upon the dusk and darkness, my pulse, brilliant as a meteor, these strange idle hours, cascading wild and wicked below bended frown. How innocent the flowers in transient midnight, when death cries in her reaping atop mountains so holy. Love's eyes shone, full and sweet, honey glow and torment, buried by some fatal air. Nature goes on. The ticking of clocks wanes with sad heart of human frame, while crickets sing to the crescent moon. Where we danced beneath squid ink black, our autumn became a blessing. The flowers so innocent sing, this end, slow and sinking.
Thank you, Harley.
Thank you.
All right. On deck, I have Kevin. Unmuting you now, Kevin.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you hear me now? Okay. I'm going to sit here like reading over my glasses like some ancient person. Okay, 3. Yes, that's what that is. All right, so the first one's called For All Your Trouble. Let me turn this fan off, excuse me. We haven't gotten out of fan weather quite yet. For all your trouble. Place has gone through so many incarnations. Dimly recall the high, steeply tiered Lazy Susan array of different flavored syrups, the umpteen numbered tastes for shakes, etc. Wild but rational choice. Slowly spun, dusty, still around for some while, years after its long ago newness. Plus, reentrant sonics, non-reentrant sonics scaring off mothers and children. Our lading list blister, breaking all over. Heard in sister's car AM radio, thrumming across an already old, loosely wood-planked bridge, a swamp-like river, or maybe more likely banking off, beside it, sussing out in voices contradictions, hope, and distrust. So that's it for that. Oh, thank you so much. So this is a second one, and this is called All About. Of course, it's one of those first line going in, diving in, title things. Okay. All about the oxides, snowblind and seeing mutant culture sluicing in the orange, not yet purple noon. My tongue-tied. Steel dawn viewed sideways of all the crazy crimps and bleaching to know what it is to face a final madness. One might think of Lovecraft, various producers to blame, but rain will never bring water. Let there be rain. Meanwhile, fractures and stuff, some bit of whatnot halfway reads as pimps, broken promises. New foul season plays on, headphones as steel dawn reaches night. All this and branding too. Watering on the side is pantomime, dropping further through the jungle room at Graceland, the man who fell to earth, Basquiat's studio situation, more screens, more inputs, no settled point of view. Channel switching to avoid ads, Arcana and some almost old movie, perhaps The Continents of Eric Stoltz, an insert of a page and a symbol for Uziel in a book. Wide shot of the Three Stooges in a street selling old fish. Tarkovsky blocking scenes in The Sacrifice. What would John Leonard say? Nuevo Astro. Further confounding our already shaky systems and consistencies that imply, while in no way supplying an alternate, non-correspondent framework. So now, my sign is bent foam core. Born in the year of the photonically bruised dewdrop, all that apparent. My higher root beer, type neither fun nor foamy, numerologically, a zero start point of continually ongoing negative sequence. My fortune cookie reads, "You're way too cheap for takeout." And yeah, it's a third one. That one seemed, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. I see, well, I recognize someone there, but anyway. A shout out to the person I recognize. This third one's called Piecework, and that's actually a name. Who knew? This seems sort of halfway topical and not, that those sorts of things happen every once in a while. It's unavoidable. Piecework. One lame and aggravated Hessian acting all aggrieved and headless, and a question, demanding valet parking at his own hotel. The twitch of Stonewall's leg reanimated by the daughters. Congruence, the price we pay separately and together. Bell reaching west to the Taunton, 3 black dogs, Vane turning only after Labor Day weekend. So we stand, a meerkat atop a muddy we stand a meerkat atop a muddy warthog's crown in a memless society. Feel free to believe young Goodman Brown just fell out of the woods, gleeful and sanctified. Here we are now, to snap apart and shame ourselves back together again. And that's the 3 poems. 3, count them, 3. Oh, thank you. I'll look over my glasses.
Very distinguished. Reading
Yes.
All right, let's see. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's talk about reading over glasses. Hang on. So recently, we had to clean out my grandmother's house, and we were going through her jewelry and her effects and everything. I found these little reading glasses. All right. How cute are these, first off?
Yeah, look good.
The lenses fold down.
Oh, wow.
Are these not the coolest things?
That is great.
So I was like, I'm gonna take those.
Wow.
I don't know where she found them. I don't know how she came to own them, but they're so cool. Sorry, that's just little. I have an old drop down, captain's desk basically that has the little fold out desk, and so it's got all these little cubby holes, and I've just stuffed them full of crap. Like I have a whole stick of sage in here that I haven't opened. Like it's just my little desk of wonders, and so it's very distracting when I'm trying to be on Zoom to see all this stuff. All right, our next poet is Ms. Ann Becker. Ann, I am unmuted.
Hey, Ann. Yay.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, I have 3. Cock. Spatchcock the road game. A Sunday spit suiting cuisiniere over caveman. Harness the hyacinths into border mulch, setting this yard in high relief along the manicured links. If propane should return too soon to ether, or players' spikes trespass upon etiquette, will we be beset where there are such borders to breach or foul to foil? Perhaps mana, over-manipulated, is sublime enough in its unalloyed authenticity. Hand me a fancy, so I may feast alongside the could have never been. Vulgar disappointment is not welcome at our table. This next one, berry. Just a pinch of sage over the butter poached chicken livers. Easy on the salt for my poor yellow liver. Just a little pinch, I'm always told by the needle bearer. I know her history by now. I'm uneasy, not for the pinch, but for the salt and berry butter staining my white chart. I never listened to the sage telling me just one more drop will yellow the whites of my eyes. His story and chiding even now don't taste real to me. If I would just chew the poaching as bitter, could bearing tread gingerly, accept the sound needling behind my eyes. Okay. This third one is Out of the Whirlwind. She is hardened against her cleaved ones, as though they were not hers. Your matching yellow Easter dresses are peacock's goodly wings. You didn't answer our question. The tree's red garment this day is a sea under aureate clouds. You didn't answer our questions. Where you both sleep each night, fashionably quaint in pink and prose, I have laid the foundation. You didn't answer my questions. Your slaved over minced meals are hardly food for ravens. Yes, over the years we could touch these grand common scraps on tables and tablets. These were seen, observed in packages. But where were you when the other demigods taught their young to discern, build, shade, what cannot be seen, tawny and in tongues?
Thank you, Anne. Those were excellent. Okay, I'll go next. Again, if anybody wants to, I know we have like two late joiners. If you wanted to read and want to sign up for the open mic, please feel free to do that in the chat. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to read you a new one. And it's another in my series of odes. And Andy's not here to laugh at me for this one, so he's going to laugh at me for this one, but he's not here now to do it on Zoom. So my odes are always to musicians that I love or admire, and so this one's slightly different though. It's more to a song than, well, no, it's to the artists, but it's a specific song inspired this one. And so okay, ready? This is an ode to Hanson's Mbop. If you guys, no one laughed. Do you guys remember Hanson? The little trio of blonde boys. Okay, all right. So now, okay. They're actually grown men now. They do mbop with bongo drums, and it's amazing. They are actually very talented musicians, and you should go listen to them. So, all right, ode to Hanson's mbop. Summer '97. Unbridled joy of an 8-year-old with a tape deck and an open window and a summer day. It's a love song I can't understand yet, a nonsense word for nonsense feelings that sound so sweet flung into the air, lifted by little voices with bright blonde hair. When the day is broken by grown-up voices, grown-up emotions, more nonsense words, time for headphones. Time for headphones. Drown out those nonsense words I don't understand yet. Can you tell me? Say you can, but you don't know. Summer 2007. The unbridled joy of an 18-year-old with an ancient car with a tape deck, open windows, and a summer night. Red light dance party, stares from the other cars around me, a love song I'm starting to understand. Still some nonsense, but my heart knows. Plant a seed, a flower, plant a rose. Which one's gonna grow? No one knows. But you're happy watching them bloom. Summer 2017. The unbridled joy of a 28-year-old catching the bop on the midday throwback radio hour. Open windows and a summer day. Caught between one chore and the next, missing for just a few moments that bright little bedroom, jumping on the bed, a little voice and bright blonde hair. Turn your back and they're gone so fast. Thank you, thank you. Oh, God. I saw them first live at 18 years old, and I don't regret it for a second. I'm a big, handsome fan. All right. I'm gonna read you my sad one. I guess it's sad or is it angry? I don't know what it is. It's both. It's angry and sad, as everything is. So this one, title is Aisling, and that's a Gaelic girl's name, meaning dream or vision. I see you most often around the 20th of the month, peak of my body's fevered dream state. You are an omen, a vision, smiling and cooing. Beautiful baby girl, chubby cheeks, mahogany curls. You look just like him, with the same eyes as mine, North Atlantic gray. We're alone in the living room, and it feels like mine, but everything is new. You sit in the center, and we stare at each other for a long time. You've been waiting, and how sweet you seem. I wonder, is it me, or do you wait for him? You know I can't do this, right? Not only am I unprepared, I'm unwilling, hoping the chemicals I've been swallowing for 15 years have left me inhospitable to life, that my biological clock is ticking down to the apocalypse and I'm casually watching Netflix in the next room. Scientists are telling us we have 12 years to save the planet before it burns into nothing, which seems to be accelerating in 2020. And then what? We melt to death at ages 12 and 42? No, thank you. Or you'll have to live those pitiful 12 years around people who will tell you that there are ways little girls are supposed to behave or exist or remain silent. And if you don't comply, well, that's your fault. Let's not even discuss the fact you might not make it to 12 because some asshole will walk into a mall or a movie theater or your fucking school and riddle your little body with bullets. And there are more people everywhere who will hurt you if they have the chance, people who feel entitled to you, your time, your space, your smile. I am selfish and terrified. I am stubborn and determined. Thank you. That's about not wanting to have a baby. Just in case you weren't aware, because I don't want to have a baby. This one is kind of new, but old. So I went back in my history books, went through some old stuff, and felt the need to update them just because these were written around a time when I was like getting over a huge heartbreak. And now like I don't give a shit about that person anymore. So all the poems are like they're still good, but like that it's not there. Like I don't want to read them anymore because I'm happy and I'm good now. I don't care anymore. But when you give them a fresh update, they kind of say something new because you're looking at them from, your hindsight, I guess. You're looking at them in hindsight. And so I updated them a little bit, and this one got really short. Like it was long and like drawn out and sad, and now it's short and nice and fun. It's called Sunshine Yellow. Take my advice, buy new bed sheets. A new set his body will never touch. New pillows too, if you can afford it. Softness that is all your own. Perfect pale yellow, sunshine draped over your skin. Make your bed, tucking and folding. Turn down the corner, just enough for one. You'll learn how to sleep in the middle of the bed eventually. Take your time. Learn to buy your groceries for one. Then how to cook for one. How to leave the nightlight on for yourself. You'll change your sheets, switch to flannel for the winter, and when spring returns, you'll be a new body lying in them, feeling your own heat and weight fully for the first time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I'm gonna unmute, hang on. No, and now, nope. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay, if you all want to unmute yourselves and have a chit chat, and if we want to go into round 2 of reading, we can do that. If anybody wants to break the ice on round 2, you can raise your hand. Kevin, round 2? All right, very good. Let me unmute you.
Thank you. Let me turn the fan off again. So, I'm doing this primarily, this thing doesn't want to run. Primarily just to encourage other people to do the same things. Harley, Sarah, Ann, whatever spirit comes into our seance. Join hands. Okay, so yeah, I had another 3 lined up, so I'm evil that way. Actually I had 4, but 3 is enough because the 4th one's really just fine. It's really kind of saying the same thing over and over again anyway. So this is called The Old Voices. And it's another one of those, the title is the first line kind of deals. Surprise, surprise. And you can hear me, right? Yeah, okay. I'll just squint at this readout and read. The old voices return as by a skipping needle foretold. Round 'em up, Tex! Hell, there's even been a movie. All our warble plays in my head. I blame Sunday mornings with coiffed Johnny Cash, across on high propagating feminist radio. Who can choose a better noise? Or or an archangel dropping by for Isaac's 7 orchard nap. Whoever's the heavy, the sword, flame born by a wish. What the young sing at recess for staycation Bible school. Ashes, ashes, we all fall sideways. Oh, hey, Cynthia. Sideways with wind and circumstance. Somewhere by the water, we forget. Wow, I'd like to take this moment and go, hey, Cynthia. I can see, I feel like I'm in romper room, the magic mirror. I see Cynthia, I see Harley, I see Ann, I see other names, I see Sarah. This 3rd one's called Sent Out. It was called something else, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's very short. Sent out with hollow, spring-loaded, and wind-blown spindles, good for public occasions and photo ops. May as well rechristen that slow, full whistle off a leaky side wheel, the robot Lee. Under a bridge, dealing as they do from Big Muddy's bottom. Not sure they can hack the promised land of empiricism, a slow river crossing, or anywhere else outside their own haunted hollow, an uncanny orange grove. Yeah, I'm sure I'm saying two things. Live and let live. Possibly. And, hey, fuck those trolls! On shore and off. Uneasy at any speed. And it's the second one. The third, it's called Not Words, and of course that's a lie, because there's nothing but words, but you just bear with me of that kind of like mendacity. Not words, no, excuse me. Let me start again. Not words, no. Words in our head, they're a weird old trick. What I say, what you hear, I misquote again, a forgotten stranger as cicadas rise. Poetry is a vise for smooshing sounds in other people's mouths. And so it goes from the cracks, the consonants and consonants, vowels, denotations, and connotations, and all that does to the head of one reading when one is reading, if silently or aloud, the figure and the shroud, easing out of cracking brown tone plans for an orange grinder, excuse me, not an orange grinder, for a chocolate grinder. Boy, I can't even allude properly. For a chocolate grinder, one only builds between the ears, behind the eyes, the large broken glass, the coiled up twine, the letters and the notion, smile and sound, resaid, rebroken, each time, then then restrung to whatever starlight's handy. To the mind I say what I do not and cannot ever know, what I've said and only you reword, the fractured thing that leaks out one into another. And that's my 3 poems. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, cool. Oh,
Isn't that cool, the little clappy? Yeah, I always forget that there, the little clapping emoji.
oh yeah, I use that a lot sometimes. But
Good job, Dean, using that technology. All right, so we have a latecomer. She's here for round 2. I'm probably gonna knock it out of the park and make us all look like fools, but that's fine. Miss Cynthia Brenner, I am unmuting you now.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Tonight I'm going to read, I realized I hadn't read kind of topical poems. I've been doing a lot of nature stuff, but I'm reading some pandemic poems, I guess. And we'll see what happens. The first one was written in April. Can you hear me? Because last time you said you couldn't hear me. Okay. This is called Surge. Heaven's gate is burning. My 4 a.m. eyes startle. Shadows fly lurching towards the kitchen. Toaster heat wraps a soft corn tortilla. Butter drips counterwise, burns my thumb. Tastes like long ago. It's all so long ago. Outside, dark black forsythia scratches at the pane. Heaven is toast. This one's called Sentinel, and I wrote this in July. Monsoon came through unexpectedly as we were occupied with the various plagues, including drought. Some rejoiced, others tried to remember how. Waters fell from the bellies of clouds, thunders muttered, then cackled, in gravelly chorus against gusts of wind, spouts were overrun. I remember evenings like this, my family standing in the cool shelter of a cobblestone entryway, breathing in the murky heat, waiting, waiting. My siblings counting the flashes together and holding hands when the booms came. After 3 days of this, I step out onto a moist balcony to reclaim my view. The rains have stopped. They may begin again, but tonight's air is fresh, breeze, promising. I watch evening's murk swirl, then part, to reveal a brave but single sentinel star. And the last one I'll read is called In Spirit. That was in June. Crowded in, close together, wearing masks, stopping thought, chanting grimly, I connect with them. From the seat of my battered soul, lift them up, bleeding, wash their faces of tear gas, hug them to my chest fiercely. All I want to do is cry. All I want to do is sleep, refuse food, but that's a dead alley, down a dark alley, down a dark end. They are me. I was them. They are brave. I was scared. They are smart. I was clueless. Still, we all showed up. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. I told you, round 2, and she's gonna come make us all feel bad. No, I'm kidding. Gotta step it up for round 3, though. Andrew, I see you popped in. If anybody didn't catch it, Andrew was featured today in, I don't know, were you in print? Or, hang on, let me unmute you.
I didn't know it was in print. I thought that it was just on the interwebs, and then I saw a comment this evening that said that they saw it in this morning's paper. So apparently it is in print.
Wowzer. So
yes, yeah. I need to go track me down one of them.
Yes, so I think Cumberland Farms usually has them really late. You might be able to do that.
I might be able to make that happen.
Yeah. So Andrew and his artwork were featured in the Standard Times today. Lovely article written up, and he talks poetry in it too. So way to rep.
Big shout out to Mr. Don Wilkinson for making that happen. He asked me about it very much on the fly and like short notice. He was all like, I think he asked me on like Tuesday, and I needed to get him like my full answers in by like Friday morning.
Nice. Good job. Well, you did it. Made that.
I did it. You made it happen, kids.
All right. Andy, do you want to read? Are you ready to read?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go.
Andy's going to go next, but then if anybody else does want to jump in for round 2, we'll make that happen. And you're already unmuted, so let me shut up.
I think I know it's a little premature, but I think it's helpful to kind of bring it into the forefront of everyone's minds, especially considering I feel that summer is just going to bleed into the dead of winter, in that we are not really going to experience the fall that we normally do, and then winter will be here, and then we will be like, what happened? And then we will be like, and now tidings is coming. So I feel that I kind of want to start this off with the poem that I had in the last tidings, to kind of not necessarily bring us there, but to kind of get everyone to start thinking about the beautiful thing that kind of made us start publishing work with the beautiful help of Sarah and Mr. Nick LeBlanc. So this is a piece called A Fresh Dusting. I always used to think about the first snow for snow days, wanting it to snow on Christmas, wanting to go sledding, almost dying on a sled on that giant hillside at DW Field. I still hate the cold of winter, but have always enjoyed a fresh snow. Before it becomes gray matter, its serene stillness coats everything, makes you want a coat you don't have, want to buy coats for people that don't have them, wanting to have the coziest of gloves and hands to hold while you stroll the stillness of lit nights. I vaguely remember Santa's Village in New York. I have so many embarrassing Christmas photos and albums that are no longer mine. Time lost to time, to divided houses, to crossing state lines. It all melts away eventually. But that fresh snow still reminds me of hopeful youth, of days that were consumed with wanting to get a tree, that a fake tree just wasn't good enough, that decorating was part of tradition, the tradition of shared meals, that shared cultures, lumpia and lasagna, pancit and parmigiana, halo halo and tiramisu, my melting pot, my longing for family, my longing for my own traditions, my longing for laughter, hers, not mine, time plus time. Thank you. This is a piece called Wish Upon. There are days that you wish would waste away, that you would have wasted away with Netflix, tortilla chips, and salsa or guac. Thoughts that you wish you could forget, for they beget feeling, yielding you back to the past that sometimes you felt was gonna last. Others, when you wish it would just pass. Days that you cling on to, that you don't mind picking up her poo or her farts. But that was just part when she welcomed you home. It is an unknown to anyone who doesn't know that feeling of cuddling up to a 70-pound lap dog that rarely liked to jog but would follow you as far as her little paws would bring her. You wish it didn't linger, that wishing you could have given her a longer lease on life. What that would have been like, what her noble soul would have been like when she was actually old, not to come home to that body that was cold, not to be one to wrap her up and tell her that she was enough, that her home is what dreams are made of, to wish on the moon, to wish on the stars. There isn't anything I would give to see her roll in the yard. Thank you. And then just because I'm feeling the mood and kind of feeling like going for some hits, I feel like I haven't read that one in a while. And I like just having this guy prepped just in case I start fumbling on my own words and feeling like they aren't my own. So this is Missed. There are things that you miss, that you missed, that amidst all the fits of trying to fit all of this into your life that you swear you're doing what's right. In the end, you want to call it quits when things get tight. Vice grip. I want this pipe fitting to fit this pipeline, this tightrope that I walk fine line. I swear I get it from her. That infectious laughter that cuts through a room like a hot knife through butter. Carry golden. Can't tell you how many times growing up used to being called the golden child, who through the grapevine, growing wild. We used to grow grapes in Brock Vegas. Not one of those things that made us, not one of those things that made me miss you, but how you would endlessly toil in the earth that for what it's worth taught me that from the simplest seed with tenderness it can indeed grow into something worth harvesting. And I'm tired, Mom. I'm always trying to put that face on, you know, that fake one, the one that doesn't shed tears, is always shifting gears, moving and shaking, popping like bacon. But what if all it is faking? Fake it till you make it. What if it's all made out of bullshit? Sometimes I know bullshit gets toiled back into it. Compost, fertile land. The missing element is the man made. The two it takes to make one. The born son, the one or two it takes to shape one. And I wanted you to see it, even though the it will always be in transit. Transformation from my active participation. And milestones will be hit and shattered. And all that really would have mattered is that you wouldn't have missed all of this. That all of this is for something, someone. And I know sometimes those fine lines get blurry. We're always in a hurry. Flurry of events. I wish every reference to you wasn't past tense. Thank you.
Good job, Andy. You good? Do you need some claps? Energy?
I'm good.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Do I have any other takers for round two? Oh, Harley. All right. Gonna jump in. All right, hang on one second. Where are you? There you
I'm
are.
over here.
There you are.
I'm up here in Quincy. Well, how do you follow Cynthia and Andy? I mean, really, all of you guys just make me better. So I'm gonna keep trying. This one's called Something a Man Once Told Me. I had heard that they spread some of your ashes on the town line at Mainstream. I'd ridden there during Indian summers when the corn tussles blew golden kisses against the sky and waved to me as I rode past on my bicycle. The days were hot and even the dirt was hot, but I never noticed then. There is no shelter from the black flies on these days, not even in the fishing. I filled my head with so many empty promises and flew on the flimsy wings of all of them that nothing could sour what I believed about you. A man's word is a man's word, you said. We do what we say we will, you said. So we spit and shook on it. I hadn't noticed that the dairy cows always seemed mournful. Perhaps they knew something that I did not. Perhaps they knew on those short rides that filled an eternity for me that living up to the list of St. Peter was another story. There's destiny at play, and fate, countless hands of heartbreaking loss and dead-end reminders of failure. Never-ending parade of heart-shaped glass bottles, empty, for this life of promises that were never meant to be kept. I rode down to Mainstream today, but couldn't find any trace that you were still there. This one I think I read once before. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Kevin poem. I wrote this one when I had a short life in Denver, Colorado. This one's called The Detective. Southern dried trails of blood cake the sidewalk in a playful pattern of connect the dots, leading me astray like a child gone missing in a curiosity shop. Knick-knack, paddywhack, I count my steps, following the measured intervals of platelet hide and seek until they stop at the edge of the world. And beyond, a continuum, a dark continuum, the space of my consciousness. I tap him with my toe. He is most certainly dead. And this is one that I scribbled earlier in the year, and then worked on a little bit here and there, and this is sort of where it's at. It's called 99-Cent Lighter. An iron-jawed man picks up needles with his bionic arm and places them in his carry-on, remarkably forbearing, beside the heroin corpses shuffling about and dragging their feet, glassy-eyed, unfocused, lifeless pinpricks, lost within the dust mites and bed lice, but they were only sleeping and not dead, while the iron-jawed man continues on, weaving his way through human traffic cones, paper cups, and burnt folded spoons. An angry man screams at nothing but the remnants of gum on the sidewalk start the pigeons cooing, foreign tongues of dirty birds, all pecking and plucking and always in his way. A woman squats to urinate and begins to nod herself to sleep, dreaming of her turn amongst the dreamers. and the crowd slowly parts for the stream of piss as it makes its way into the street to join the morning commute. The iron-jawed man picking up needles with the bionic arm knows they all had legs once, that yearned to run towards any existence that wasn't here. But where, he wonders, as he watches another 99-cent lighter fall apart and lose its spark. An ambulance calls in the distance.
Thank you, Harley. All right, let's see. I'm good to go with another 2 if you will indulge me. Let's see. Oh, did I mute you? Yes. Okay, good. All right. So like I said, I spent a little while going through my history books these past few weeks just to try to kind of jumpstart because I still can't really write anything new. Except that goofy poem I read earlier. So I went through some old stuff and I actually found some gems that I haven't read. I don't know if I've actually read this one out loud at an open mic because the subject matter sucks so bad. But I want to read it. I want to read it because I just need to. All right. The title of this poem is Bum Eye. He recognizes my face in the context of a group. I am my sister's sister, my father's daughter, his granddaughter. He stands to hug me, dressed in his favorite deep emerald tie with gold shamrocks, his snow white hair perfectly coiffed. I hug him and tell him he looks sharp. He introduces me to the table as his niece, Karen. It's close enough. I know he knows I'm someone he loves. He tells me stories about the past. I try to keep notes, but they go off everywhere. He tells me about the time his brother Babe and John flew to Ireland and blew up a house. The cops arrested them later and sent them home rather than keeping them. My dad has to tell me the story of how Babe stole every dollar from Grandpa's bar and left his family of 4 here in Massachusetts, died in Florida. Grandpa remembers Babe as someone he loves. He recognizes my face, my name, when we're outside by the fire. Do you remember our pet blue jay, Bum Eye? Of course I do, Grandpa. That bird was a tough son of a bitch. Thank you. Yeah, it was from my grandpa. And then let's see. Oh God, where did it go? I lost it. Oh no. There it is. Okay, sorry. I have them all alphabetically listed by title, which is probably, I don't know. It seems like it's a logical way to sort your poems, but at the same time, it's not because it's everywhere. All right, this one. Actually, this is another one that I wrote about someone I don't give a shit about anymore. So, but I love this one. I think it's great because it's so weird. I don't know if you've ever gone through Google Maps and like noticed that you can go back in the archive of Google Maps. So you can go back like however many times they've taken pictures of your streets over the years. You can go and look at like what your street looked like 4 years ago or whatever. So anyway, I found that out and it sent me into this weird spiral of weird nostalgia feelings for my old relationship, which wasn't even that great. But hey, I wrote a poem about it. So this is called Coordinates. According to Google Maps, you and I are still living on June Street, our matching Jettas frozen in a spring morning, sidewalk lined with green leaves and sunlight. I wonder what those little kids are doing in that apartment next door, as if Google has somehow created a parallel universe where I was content to stay in that shithole of an apartment in Fall River with you for an indefinite amount of time. I wonder if the roof has blown off of the school yet, if the debris has been cleared out of our backyard, where it had landed inches away from our bedroom window. I smelled Comet and am instantly reminded of our epic campaign to leave the apartment immaculate. You almost killed yourself because you didn't open any windows. I hope you did the same for Orchard Street, even though I know Maria went through it herself. Once they update Google Street View, that'll be the last shard of our time together. Until then, there's a little bubble in the universe where you and I are making out in our little apartment on June Street. And I ache for the person you were then. Thank you. All right. Do we have another enter? Cynthia? All right, very good. I don't want to leave off on that poem. All right, I'm gonna shut myself up.
Okay, thank you. All right, I guess I'm in the mood to read. So this is some more kind of fairly recent poetry. This is called Life 2020. Provisioned, cruising back from Sunday's market bustle, I bang a shortcut through the Catholic cemetery because it's raw and cold and gray and famished. I remember the rink-sized pothole, haloed in ice, sharply turn the wheel, duck down a rutted path, bounce along small, grassy frost heaves, juicy hot Arabic music undulating from my radio, and relax into a reckless rising. This is the life, I think. My sweet life. Right here, right now. Across the mossy headstones, a marble angel, dreams disturbed, wakes, stirs, flexes a wing. This one is called Day 19, Quarantine. Grateful for the friends who included my food order in their early morning supply run, I give them 2 zucchinis and a poem instead of inviting them for coffee or conversation. I appreciate the extra time to write, hum endless kirtan harmonies to calm myself, wipe everything down while watching the disinfectant disappear. Perhaps I'll take out the sewing machine this afternoon and cut up some sheets to make masks for the neighbors. Better that than winding sheets. Our meditation sangha is meeting once again via conference call. My living room has become a track that can be walked on for miles in an infinity pattern. There's enough food for a few more days, so I sit in pajamas and watch the dead, empty street bring fear closer each precious day. Staring out on the balcony, I imagine my light body escapes, climbs over the rails and jumps, wholly alive, into the thickest part of this, the new era of our times, to search for and to see, hear, smell, taste, and yes, touch its difference, to carry the infection of change. And I'm going to end up with an earlier kind of naturey poem. It's called Glide. And this was published in the Horizon Glass Anthology, Volume 2 in 2018. I like to go canoeing on uncharted waters. Rivers glimpsed out of a car window, green and brown, leafy with speckles. Maybe fish, maybe mayflies, maybe the submerged shopping cart surprise. Only feet away from the mundane, sere world, a river pushes time differently, coaxes it along, unused. Paths, swirls, eddies, simmers. Those mysterious bubbles, giant eyeballs that rise, blup, to the disturbance of surface concerns. These are moments in time the river has captured, dragged under with a twisting wrist, flailing memories which somehow survive, escape. No one realizes their ascent. Carefully rehearsed, balletic in dimension, hopeless of reclaiming a proper time frame, or its original intent. Pop. Morning on July 12th. Pop. Dusk during a thunderstorm. Pop. Last gulp before the river iced over 19 years ago. The river has heavy hands. I like to go canoeing on these fetid waters, breathe the rich airs of limpid time itself. Guardian of the dark intent. Guardian of the river's secrets. Purveyor of shopping cart surprise. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. All right, and I had a late addition. Mr. Andrew is going to come back for his round 2. And asking to unmute. Oh, sorry. I did it again. Are you good? No, why are you? Hang on. Okay.
Are we good? Are we good? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good. I feel like I'm dating myself with that. All right, so this is called Day 1. I don't know why I'm making this more complicated than it truly needs to be. So many words falling out of my mouth. You'd swear I'm a sword swallower, as I know they can hurt intentionally or it's inverse. This feels like it's dragging, ball and chain, not always in vain. Sometimes I need to be grounded, and I'm sorry you feel like it's decorated with the shells of dead bodies that were no longer preserved, that you and others view trust as more than transactional. I'm sorry for who hurt you, what for those who made us, broken parts, refurbished, repacked, sent on their way without instructions and batteries not included. Thank you. And this last one is called Countdown, which is very reminiscent to my days of installing work, always the last minute, always frantic, and especially on the heels of Don Wilkinson's very courteous write-up of myself. So this is called Countdown. It's always stressful leading up to install, just hoping things fall into place, that your work ethic is good enough, pace, marathon to fill up and make the place shine. I know you can shine shit. Mythbusters taught me that. Not trying to come off as a snake oil salesman, just trying to pound pavement. It's the only way to make a statement. I feel like the past decade has just been leading to these moments where it's me, myself, and I, to know those decisions that this is done. On to the next one, the next stroke, the next painting, the next show, the next step. Every step forward is progress. That's my obsession. That the pursuit may change direction, but my progression might as well have been constructed by lawyers versed in obstruction of justice. Off the bench, the defense rests. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Hang on, I'm gonna unmute. Unmuting everybody to say hello.
Hello, y'all.
Hello.
So that's it. We've gone through round 2 for everybody, I believe. Even our latecomers got a second round. Very good.
Sorry, I was very entrenched in things, as you can see.
Celebrity today. No time for us. It's fine. No, thank you guys so much for being here tonight.